Well, hello guys. This is Dr. Drake 63 here today with a little bit of a different look for me. I'm wearing a Crye JP plate carrier, and it includes plates. It's called Level 3 Body Armor. Got a plate in the back, plate in the front, made by Spartan. We're going to take this thing apart and show it to you, what it's all about. You've got definitely a nifty little deal here with a chest rig. You've got spot for AR magazines. You've got attachments for putting handgun magazines in there, things of the like, different things. This is a quick tie tourniquet. So basically, this is one of the best you can get, which is called Crye, C-R-Y-E. So this chest rig is very well recommended. I've been doing my homework, and from what I can tell, this is about as good as you're going to get. I know some guys in the military that prefer these to their issue stuff. This is not a complete chest rig. In other words, I do not have side protection. You're going to see side protection available in what's called a cummerbund, which is another piece that goes around, which gives you the ability to hold more doodads and gadgets. But as far as this goes, we're going to talk about this, how it works, what kind of plate carriers are inside it, all that kind of good information. So this is not typically the type of gear that you see me reviewing. I don't consider myself a highly tactical guy. I do have a number of tactical type firearms, and I do shoot them a lot. But in terms of body armor, things like that, night vision, things like that, you just haven't seen me do it because I don't do a lot of it. However, this has been something I've been interested in for a while. I'll talk to you about applications, if there really are any for a guy like me, and where it might come in handy, and just give you my basic thoughts, and you can draw your own conclusions. Hey, is this where the regular guy who collects guns has crossed over into the wannabe soldier mode? And I can go ahead and tell you already, the answer to that is no. Just because I can put this gear on doesn't mean that I can go on a 12-mile rucksack fast march. It doesn't mean a lot of things that the younger guys can do. So let's not get any illusions about that. Main reason for having this is because I think it's kind of cool. And if we ever have that day where the proverbial stuff hits the fan, I'm going to let my wife wear it. So that just lets you know how I feel about it. But it is an interesting particular piece of gear. Like I said, the Crye is among the best that you can get. And I'm going to talk about it. Stay tuned. Okay, well, as you can see, this is the type of gear, or kit, as Larry Vickers would call it, that you traditionally see with an AR setup with a sling. But basically, what you have here is a Velcro's wet dream, I guess, for lack of a better word. This thing is 1,000,000% dependent on Velcro, but basically, as you can see here, how this thing stays on you is by attaching that and then putting this flap down. So you have different things to hang, attach, whatever kind of gear you want to have. These are magazine carriers here. This is a lanyard hook or whatever you could attach gear to. These are things that just came out at the place that I bought it. Here you have a front pocket. You could put up to 6 magazines in there. As you can see, these can be easily held in by these little elastic straps. But what you basically have is the ability to adjust this. Your plate is in here. I'll take that out in a second. This is the back of your unit. So you've got some mesh right here, which is going to give you a little bit of breathing room in the back where you typically will sweat. And the plate is actually in here. Is this curved plate, okay? And if you flip it over, you can see the statistics. It's from Spartan Armor Systems. This is what's called level 3. It's a 10 by 12. It's for the back. It was manufactured, over a year ago. It's got a 20-year shelf life. This is coated so that, I'm thinking more than anything else, so that it won't rust from sweat. And it's warranted for 5 years. So the curve, this inside part, you see it's curved, like I said, is worn against the body. And as I said, this is level 3, which basically claims that it's going to be good against 7.62 rounds. So bring on the 308, bring on the 7.62 by 39. Anything less, stay away from your 50 BMGs on this and some of your other heavier rounds. But that's what constitutes your back plate. And here's your front plate. Same thing, it's curved. It's also a 10 by 12, so this is identical. These are both the same plate, front or back, and gives you a lot of coverage. Now, what a lot of guys are going to do is feel invincible if they throw something like this on, and you should not. I liken something like this to wearing a seatbelt. It's going to greatly increase your chances of survival in certain types of accidents, just like this will greatly increase your chances of survival in certain types of being shot. So, basically, your torso shots that hit your heart, your lungs, your liver, and those vitals, your spinal cord going from basically the top of your chest down to your belly button, or a little bit higher actually. Like I said, this doesn't have side protection. You can get side protection wearing additional pieces in a cummerbund. I don't think I'm going to do that. And like I said, I really have to figure out what's my application for this. I just happen to think something like this is cool, and I've been wanting one. And I've got a kid that's in the infantry. He has a plate carrier. I don't think it's as nice as this one, but kind of intrigued by it, and thought, wow, this is pretty cool. So let's check it out. So that's what you got. You've got the Spartan Armory, and that's pretty impressive stuff. And like we showed you, this slides right in here into this front pocket. So, you're only talking about a couple pounds of weight of these things without the plates. You throw the plates in there, and now you're talking about getting some pretty decent weight up there. And I'll get you the specs on these. All held in place with Velcro. Isn't it amazing how strong that stuff is? Now, briefly, I just want to talk about what's my purpose of use for this thing. Okay, well, it keeps you from getting shot in the chest with small arms fire and taking your heart out right away. I get that, but you know what? Stuff like this is really made for people when they know they're going into combat, aka someone in the military. You're going on a mission, you're going to put this stuff on and a whole lot more. GPS, navigation equipment, communication devices, you name it. Not to mention like real select firearms, which most of the mall rangers aren't running around with. But this stuff certainly serves a purpose. But like I said, when do you use it? I conceal carry a pistol, and if I'm walking down the street and something goes south, I have the ability to protect myself to a certain level with a 9mm high capacity handgun. I'm not going to wear this wherever I go. In fact, I don't think I'm going to wear this anywhere I go. It's just not practical. And it's not even the weight that bothers me. It's more along the lines of come on, man, you know, I'm not that guy. Am I going to wear this around the house? No. So am I going to wear this to the range to go shoot paper? No. So, you know, where might I wear this? If I'm out in the woods someplace where I can shoot and do whatever I want, yeah, it might be cool to just throw this on and, you know, have my spare mags and everything right on me and all that. But let's face it, all we're really doing at that particular point is playing Army. And I have nothing against that. But the only reason that you're going to have this on is because A, you're in the military, B, you're expecting imminent attack at your home, and as most of you guys know from me quoting my philosophy, I'm not going to win that fight any day, so why are we even talking about preparing for it? Or number three, hey, you just think it's cool, and it's kind of a neat thing to have, and that's why I have it. Now maybe the situation will occur someday where I feel a need to be protected. I think some kind of strange threat is imminent. Society is broken down. If that happens, and I believe that we're going to have to go guns, as they say, okay, I can see putting this on. But chances are, unless I have two of them, I'm giving it to my wife anyway. I'm just that kind of guy. But I do think they're pretty cool. And this Crye is one of the more expensive setups. This JP is going to run you $200 plus. Then you throw your plates in and so forth and so on, and you're looking at about a $400 rig. So definitely not cheap. It's definitely not cheap by any stretch. Now, in terms of all the different things this can do, I don't know what level of review I'm going to do. There are guys out there. One that comes to mind is Grantham. And he does a ton of stuff about all the tactical gear, night vision, Kevlar helmets, exactly what every one of these pockets is for, and carrying flash grenades, and carrying radio communications, and all that stuff, which there are some folks that, you know, are doing dress rehearsal for that kind of scenario that aren't in the military. I'm not one of them. Best advice I give anybody that is afraid of the end of days is make sure you have plenty of water and get a gas-powered generator. That's beside the point. But in terms of something like this, I thought it was cool. You know, this is about what I'm going to go drop on ammo every other week, so it's not a big deal for me to say, hey, let's get something that isn't necessarily the most practical, just to have it. Now, I got a little bit more body size shrinking to do. It fits fine for what I'm doing, but I imagine if I had to throw this over a coat or something, all bets are off. Then again, I don't foresee that, and I guess if we really got cold and I needed this, I'd put the coat over it. But interesting piece of gear. I would definitely say if you're interested in this kind of stuff, do some research, check it out. I think you can get rigs like this cheaper than what I paid. And like I said, you can get belts, you can get what's called a cummerbund, which is going to give you some side protection. I've got a long torso, so no matter what I wear, it's going to be a little bit on the short side for me compared to a lot of guys. So is this going to save your life in all circumstances? Absolutely not. But what it's going to do is take a lot of the things that could kill you right away out of the equation, and that's what I'm interested in having something that can do that. But like I said, guys, I don't know when I'm going to wear it. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. Guys that are familiar with these, you can tear this review apart and tell me how much I don't know. Go right ahead, because I'm not going to pretend to know anything about these other than I'm wearing one right now. I do know that Crye makes a great product. I do know that the Spartan plates level 3 are gonna be among the better ones out there. That much I do know. But as far as use and all of that kind of stuff, I'll leave that up to the experts, guys that have worn this stuff in combat and so forth. Anyway, just thought it was kind of cool. Thought I'd share it with you guys. This is Dr. Drake 63 saying, support the NRA and protect yourself any way you feel comfortable. See ya.